Hello students, welcome to the world of digital teaching. I'm Amrit Veer and today I'll be taking up the new chapter from your book Hornbill for class 11th. We are not afraid to die if we can all be together. Now basically if we would try to, let's say, summarize, sum up, or just have a crux of this chapter in one line, it would be that this is a story of courage, strength and belief, a belief that leads to hope, and the characters who are determined to fight this situation to the end. The message that this chapter gives out is that unity is strength. Hence the title, We Are Not Afraid to Die If We Can All Be Together. Right? This story, this chapter is basically the journey of Gordon Cook and Ellen East. So this is, you can say, inspired by the autobiographical events, and it is basically autobiographical in nature. Now this story, We Are Not Afraid to Die If We Can All Be Together, we can call it a story of extreme courage and skill that was exhibited by Gordon Cook, his family as well, and the crewmen who were there on the ship in which they were traveling. Now this is basically the incident of July 1976 when they sailed for this journey on a world voyage. They basically were trying to duplicate the world the voyage undertaken 20 years back by James Cook in their professionally equipped ship, the Wave Walker, right? So they took the voyage in their professionally built ship that was called the Wave Walker. So there were two experienced sailors, Larry Vigil, an American, and Herb Sigler, a Swiss, to tackle one of the world's roughest seas, that is the Southern Indian Ocean. And what happens is, the first part of the journey, when we take up this first part of the journey, it was about 1,05,000 kilometers up to the Cape Town. It passed off very pleasantly. Then on the second day out of Cape Town, they began to encounter strong gales. Gales is the strong winds, right? On the second day out of Cape Town, they began to encounter strong gales, but still it did not worry the narrator. But then what happens is that the size of the waves was very alarming, even up to 15 meters high. It was as high as the main mast. On 25th December, the writer's ship was in the Southern Indian Ocean, approximately 3,500 kilometers to the east of Cape Town, and the family celebrated their New Year on board the ship. So till then they were enjoying the journey. It was not a worrisome act that something bad might happen. It was not something like, see, this first sign of implementing disaster. They faced strong winds. The waves were very high, which we already discussed, but still it was just a first sign. So since being hopeful, we don't take the first sign to be something very negative, a sign of impending disaster. So in that way it didn't worry them. Then suddenly at 6 p.m. a tremendous explosion, it shook the Wave Walker and the author was thrown overboard. The ship was about to capsize. Capsize is turn upside down. So it was about to capsize when another gigantic wave hit it, tossing it upright once again. So it was the waves which were very high. The ship was basically being tossed by those high waves, right? Somehow he found the wheel, the captain of the ship, lined up the stem for the next wave and hung on till Mary appeared and took charge of the wheel. Larry and Herb, the other two sailors on board, they started pumping out water like madmen. So they started the damage control measures. The whole starboard side bulged inwards. The narrator managed to cover the canvas across the gaps to prevent water from entering the ship, but then more problems rose. Problem of hand pumps not working, electric pumps being short circuited, So fortunately, still it had hope. See, I told you the message that this chapter gives is that we should never give up basically. It's a struggle, it's a fight against the odds to come out victorious. So again, fortunately, the narrator, he found a spare electric pump under the chart room that worked. The entire night was spent in pumping, steering, repairing, and sending radio signals. So these were all desperate measures which they were trying to send out signals. They were trying to pump out the water to save the ship from sinking, to keep it afloat. So they spent the entire night in pumping, steering, repairing, and sending radio signals. Then the narrator checked the charts and calculated that Amsterdam, a French scientific base, that was their only hope. Because why it was their only hope? It was the nearest to their place. Now see, this is the first part. First part, when we have a sudden onset of impending disaster for those people, when they have clear indications, when they have to struggle a lot and they know what is there in front of them now they have to act, keep themselves strong, united to face those problems with courage. So what happens next was that Sue and John, they were badly injured, but they said that they were not afraid to die if they could all be together. Unity is strength. That's the message we have here. Sue's head was swollen and she had a deep injury. The narrator became more determined, seeing his children's courage. Finally, when they reached Amsterdam, a volcanic island, where they were welcomed by 28 inhabitants. So what do we have here? The collective strength and never failing optimism, never failing. Remember, optimism, the positive thinking that never left them. Of the sailors, that made it possible for them to come out of the jaws of death. Though Jonathan and Suzanne, they did not do anything to save Waywalker, but still their courage, forbearance, faith and optimism, that gave them extra strength and persistence to the narrator and his team. Hence, the bravery of the strong-willed children, that is a very noteworthy point in this story. So it's not just the optimism of the rest of the team who were actually into it, who were doing something, who were putting out all their efforts, energies to save the ship from sinking. It was the strong-willed nature of the children who made a strong fight by keeping strong, by being positive, sending out positive signals. That is also a very important factor here in this story. So this was your first introduction to the characters in this story, that is the passengers of this ship. The narrator, the captain of the ship, who was a 37 years old businessman, Mary, the captain's wife, Suzanne, the 7 years old daughter of the captain, 6-year-old son Jonathan, and the crew members including American Larry Vigil and Swiss sailor Herb Sigler. So these were the basic characters. This was your introductory video based on this chapter. Just to give you a brief outline, a sort of an introduction to the story and plus the introduction to the characters of the story. This will have basically you will have a clear idea of the plot of this story. Next video coming up would be a detailed study of the chapter, the language wise, theme wise, the development of the plot, story, everything, characterization. So by that time, I would like to request all of you to go through the chapter once after visiting this story, the summary of the story, this introduction. Read the chapter once before the next video when we take up the detailed analysis of the text. Till then, enjoy your task. Happy learning. Thank you.